Hi, everybody. If you're new here, I'm Peter Brown, and you're watching Futbol Miami TV's local news. A new week, and that means a new lawsuit for Inter Miami. And Miami attorney David Winker is right back at it. Winker, who previously filed an ethics complaint and 2 lawsuits against the city of Miami, is involved in a new suit filed in Broward County. Winker has teamed up with FXE Futbol. FXE Futbol is the bid that was ranked number 2 on April 2nd by Fort Lauderdale. In other words, they lost to Miami Beckham United to develop the Lockhart Stadium site. This new lawsuit alleges the city of Fort Lauderdale violated the state laws in process of evaluating and ranking the 2 bids. The suit accuses Fort Lauderdale government of skipping required steps in reviewing the Beckham proposal, including getting an outside opinion from an architect or an engineer and commissioning an independent analysis of each deal's cost effectiveness. FXE Futbol's J.P. Reynolds also states that Inter Miami overstated the severity of discovered asbestos in the Lockhart bleachers. Fort Lauderdale city attorneys say the suit is without any legal merit and will be defended vigorously. Well, this is likely nothing more than a speed bump for the completion of this project. My concern is simply that Inter Miami is on a tight deadline and any delays are a big problem. Lockhart Stadium construction must be started no later than February in order to make the season opener. Hey, let's talk a little Magic City Classico. Miami FC and Miami United face off for the first time this year as they kicked off the NPSL Sunshine Conference. Before the game, we had a chance to catch up with Miami FC CEO Sean Flynn. Let's take a look. All right, Sean Flynn, CEO of Miami FC, thanks for joining us. The beginning of a new season, coming off a championship of last year. What have you guys been up to in the offseason?
Well, it's been a busy offseason. We've had a lot of turnover on the player side, the roster. When you're kind of in a transition phase like us, playing in the NPSL last year, winning the championship, and then really having a long off season, right? Because we played basically the 3-month regular season and a month of playoffs, and then in August we were done. So some of our guys at that point went to look for other opportunities to finish out the year. And some of those guys decided to stay or found other opportunities. So it was great for them. Obviously, they had a ton of exposure winning the championship with us and moved on to other opportunities. So, this off season, we really focused on making sure we put the right people in place. So when we came back in the NPSL, it started up like we are tonight. We had a proper roster in place, and that's just not guys that are technically, sound, but guys that are kind of, fit the mold of Miami FC. We've built a reputation, a Miami FC way of, having championship caliber teams no matter what league we're playing, no matter who we're playing. So, that's very important to us and how we build the roster. So working with Paul Dalglish and he had some changeover in his technical staff as well, and really taking our time and putting the proper pieces in place. And the guys, they started training in January. So, they've been training for over three and a half months, which is a long time to train without playing a league match. Tons of training matches and exhibitions and friendlies, but this is for real. So those guys are chomping at the bit. So it's been a busy and productive off season, and we've been waiting for a long time since August 4th or whatever it was last year till tonight. So that's a long stretch, but the anticipation is building. Now tonight we finally get to take the field and open up the 2019 season.
Talk a little bit about some of those pieces. Who are some of the names that people should be looking at?
Well, the guys that are coming back, right? We have Dylan Maris coming back, obviously. Ariel Martinez, who's unfortunately he's a little dinged up tonight, so he won't be playing tonight. Ryan James is back, and then you got some new players coming in. Mark Pace is our new keeper. Lloyd Sam, who can't play tonight either. He's going through some clearance issues with the ITC system, where you have to get clearance from if you played overseas. So he's got to get that. Hopefully that'll be taken care of soon. So there's it's a lot of new faces joining some old faces. Baggio is back, who did not play with Miami FC last year. He was up in New York playing up there. but he's back and ready to join the fold. So it's going to be an exciting 2019 season, that's for sure.
So you guys, it's a busy year. So you're starting off with the NPSL season, then you're going to roll into the Founders Cup. Talk about what the vision or the future looks like for Miami SC and what's becoming a crowded landscape here in Miami in the soccer landscape.
Yeah, it is getting crowded, and I always say the more football, the more soccer, the better. Especially in a market like Miami. Miami is a global city, and when you look around the globe, cities like Madrid and Barcelona and London and Manchester have multiple professional teams playing at multiple levels, and most of those are successful. So not just on the pitch, I'm talking about off the pitch, and viable franchises and have established roots. So Miami should be like that, right? So when Inter comes in and starts playing, whether that's next year or the year after or wherever, if they're up in Fort Lauderdale or down in Miami, that's South Florida, right? So we've got Miami United here. You've got Miami City playing in the USL. Obviously, we've got an Open Cup match against the Soccer Soldiers. You've got a bunch of teams participating in the UPSL. I mean, there's just a lot of activity, which is all great. It's just raising the awareness of the sport that we love, and bringing more people to fall in love with it and be involved with it. So, our future right now, we're focused on 2019. The first task at hand is our match tonight, kicking off the Sunshine Conference of the NPSL. Then we've had the Open Cup starting on May 8th. We'll be right here playing the Soccer Soldiers. So we've got the Open Cup competition, and then as you mentioned in the fall, we're founding members of the Founders Cup, kind of another step up for the NPSL. And there's 11 teams. We're one of the 11, the likes of the Cosmos, and then two great NPSL stories in Chattanooga and Detroit. These teams have been playing in the NPSL, drawing 4,000, 7,000. I mean, these teams have been phenomenal in terms of their ability to build soccer from the grassroots level in those markets. And then we've got teams on the West Coast that are coming in, like Napa and Arizona, and a team in Albion, which is in San Diego, and Roots, which is in Oakland. So great markets. So we're just excited about that. And then what happens in 2020 and beyond? We hope that the NPSL Founders Cup grows into something where we want to be part of that. We want to. This is a long-term project for Ricardo Silva, our owner, and our staff. This is this isn't just a, hey, let's see what happens. We're here. We're going to be here for a long time. We're establishing our roots. We want to be here 30, 40, 50 years. This is a generation, a team that should be around for decades. And once we kind of get past this transition of, uncertainty in leagues and things like this, which we're sorting through, and hopefully that'll come to a resolution, and we'll be on a path that we can all, have a solid footing and a solid base on, then we'll be going. But we're not going anywhere. One of the key announcements we had, I didn't mention in the off season, was our acquisition of Real Miami, which is one of the most successful youth academy programs in Miami-Dade, in South Florida. And they play their matches and train at Tamiami Park, which is right next door, literally across the parking lot from Ricardo Silva Stadium. And, ultimately that will be the hub of our football operations. We'll be back in Ricardo Silva Stadium. We'll have our youth program there, and we'll build kind of a natural flow. We'll build a strong, solid youth program that starts at the rec level and builds numbers, have a select program through that, and ultimately kids graduate into the first division, or the first team, which, the top first team for Miami FC. So, this is a long-term commitment, providing quality competition on the pitch, a championship caliber team that can win every match no matter who we play, whether it's MLS or NPSL or USL or whoever, and continuing this long-term journey that we're on.
Great. Best of luck this season, and especially tonight in the Magic City Classico.
Yeah, it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot.
A really nice crowd turned up for this event. 5 different supporters clubs came together to cheer on local Miami soccer. Fans from Miami FC, Miami United, and Inter Miami got together for the betterment of Miami soccer. I can't say how much I love seeing this. Miami United controlled the first 40 minutes, but after that, it was a more dominant Miami FC that came out victorious with a 2-0 win, with goals by Dario Suarez and Thomas Granito. Futbol Miami TV was at Barry University to cover the game. Look for a video later this week where you'll hear from Miami FC coach Paul Dalglish and the man of the match, Lance Roseboom. Plus, our crazy Uncle Ed will chat with several fans and jump and sing and bang the drums with all of them. Last but not least, Saturday, in UPSL action, Boca Raton FC beat International Soccer Association 2-1 in Coral Springs. Boca Raton goals were scored by Mike Smith and Mayor Sua. This game puts Boca in second place with 4 wins and 1 loss. Well, that wraps up the news for this week. But before we go, I would like to say a big thank you to everyone watching and subscribing to FMTV. We are getting real close to 500 subscribers in a very short period of time. Help get us there by sharing, liking, and subscribing. Tell your friends and your friends' friends. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.